So this is SC part 2 of my last video. I don't know if the first one is gonna even. I was trying to listen to it. I couldn't hear no sound, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to remake the video. But so I was at the part where I was talking about the guy on the bike that ran into directly into the middle of my van in front. Um, After he hit my van and got thrown on top of my hood and windshield, um, he appeared to be very in pain. He was grabbing his arm. He was hurt. Um, from what it looked like to me, is that he might have stole something and he was trying to get away. And he was looking back to see if someone was following him or watching the direction that he went. Because when he was thrown on top of my van, I saw that he had a large can beer, a full large can of beer in his back pocket. So that's the only thing I can see that he might have stolen, probably out of a liquor store, a gas station, or something. Because I'm trying to think. I don't think he had a backpack or anything like that. So it had to be something that he could put in his pocket. And what I saw was a beer. Even the three girls, they saw the beer that he had in his back pocket. So when I was working at the gas station, there will always be people coming in to steal alcohol. That's why when you go to the gas station, sometimes at a certain time of the night, the beer is locked up. Even though they can sell it, they're still able to sell it. It's still not time for the sale of beer to be shut down, but it's locked up, and you may have to ask for it. And so that's what when I was working at the Shell gas station, that's what we did, because they were still in it. So the manager said lock it up at a certain time, and then when they come in and ask for it, get their ID, go get the beer for them, walk the beer up to the front. They pay for the beer first, and then hand them their ID and the beer. So that was the process at our gas station that I worked at. I can't remember what time we stopped selling alcohol, but she said that she wanted it locked up at 9 o'clock. I came in at 10. So that means that the people before me had to lock it up, which they would forget. Half of the time, they would forget. And so and being that it's not my responsibility to lock it, so sometimes it would get stolen on my shift. And I'm like, the beer's supposed to be locked up. So I told her about it, and she would tell me, when you get in, go and check and make sure it's locked. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm telling you, she would give me, I'm guessing because I was older, she would give me so many responsibilities that I felt was management responsibilities. I had the responsibilities to go behind the employees and check behind them. Sometimes she would tell me, tell citizen so-and-so to do this, to do it. I'd be like, they're not going to do what I say. I'm an employee just like they is. And so I would tell. So what I started doing was I started leaving a note, and I would stick it up there on the note. Stick the note up there. This person name, do this, do that, that person name, like it came from management. But it was me writing a note, because if I tell them, and I felt like, I would get opposition back, because I'm not management. You're giving me responsibilities of management, but no pay. So that's what I think he did. I think he stole that beer that was in his back pocket, and he kept looking back to see was somebody following him or coming after him. So yeah, and he ran straight into my van. And he was a Hispanic man. He had tattoos all over his face, And so I was even leery about getting out of the van. I didn't even want to get out the van because I'm like, what if he do something to me? He didn't look right, and it's obvious that he's stealing. So I'm like, I was kind of hesitant to get out. When he got off my van and got his bike from wedged on the, it was, I think part of the bike was wedged. He got it, pulled it out, and I wanted to get out to see the damage too. And so he waves me to keep going. I'm like, I just can't keep going. Like, I don't even know what type of damage I have or anything. So I locked the girls in the van, and just my door was unlocked. So I got out, and I looked at the damage, which was, it was a scratch, maybe about this wide, this long, and it was 3 little bitty scratches, and then there was just a little dent. You could barely see it, a very tiny little dent. And so I said, well, what about the damage to my van? He's like, I could give you money, but he didn't have no money. He was just lying. If you got still a beer, you ain't got no money, And so he never gave me any money. And so I was telling him he needs to stay here so I can call the police. No police, no police, no police. I was like, but I have to call this in. I have to report this. So he wouldn't wait. He left. He went walking. I called the police. I'm on the phone with the police. I turn around, going back in the other direction. I catch up to him. What you want? Like, he act like I'm harassing him. He just ran into my van, damaged it, and then when I'm trying to get him to stay to talk to the police, what you want? Like, I was like, so he didn't have his bike. And I'm like, where is his bike at? I'm thinking maybe he threw it in a bush or something. And the other girls was like, where's his bike? And I was like, I don't know. And I'm thinking maybe he threw it in a bush. And so when I go back to the front of the hotel and I'm sitting there waiting, because he said the police said the police was coming. I'm just looking ahead, and I see the bike tied up to a rail. And so I was like, there's the bike. He tied it and locked it to a rail. So I told the girls that, you can just go and get out and wait for another Uber. So the girls got out, and she went and looked at the bike, and she said, it's tied to the rail because it's locked to the rail, because I didn't know it was locked. And I was like, oh, okay. And so she came back, so I saw her looking at the hood of my van. And so I'm waiting, and I was like, I wasn't sure if Anaheim PD was coming. So I called again. Like, I called a couple of times. I called again to make sure they was coming. He said, yeah, that they're going to come as soon as they can come. I'm like, okay. So then I went offline. And right when I went offline, Uber said, have you been in a crash? I'm like, yeah. So this is the second time that I have been in a crash. Well, the first time the drunk girl totaled my van, Uber asked me, have you been in a crash? And so this time, when the bike hit my van, when I went offline, Uber asked me, have you been in a crash? And I'm like, I think Uber is listening. I think Uber is listening to my what's going on inside the van through my phone. And I have also saw other videos where drivers said that they think Uber is listening to what's going on inside the van. So I'm able to do Lyft now, and I got a screen came up on the Lyft app was saying that they're going to be basically listening to the background. Like, they're going to be listening. When I'm in my van, they're going to be listening. That's what Lyft said on that note that came up on the screen. I'm like, hey, no, don't you have to get my permission to do that first? Like, to listen to what's going on in my van? Don't you have to get my permission? Like, so we really don't have no privacy. If you think we have privacy in the United States, you're mistaken. There's no privacy in the United States. None. So that's just an illusion that they tell the American people. There's no privacy here. But anyway, so here comes eventually I get a call from a man that says, can you come to this address, right? Which was really around the corner. And I said, who is this? Is this the police? And he's like, yeah, this is Anaheim PD. I'm like, oh, okay. That's weird. I didn't say that out loud, but I'm thinking to myself, that's weird. And so I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to try and find it, whatever. I didn't know exactly where it was, but it was just at the end of the one-way road right to the left. So I got off the phone with them. I'm like, that's weird. Why would the police call me and talk to me like the not be professional? This is Anaheim Police Department. He called me like we were, like he just knew me. Could you come to? I'm like, who is this? Anaheim Police Department. It's the worst department that I have ever had to deal with. And you guys know what I've been through with Marietta PD. Anaheim Police Department is way worse than Marietta PD. Way worse. And I have been through a lot with Marietta PD. But Anaheim, ugh. I have had to call them 2 times, and this time was the second time. Both times. They're not nice. They're not nice at all. You call them, they come, but you can tell they don't want to be there. You can tell they're like, why? Their attitude and their energy is like, why did you call and bother us? I think that they could be racist too, especially the first time, because I know the first time I called them, I saw one officer say something to the other officer when he saw me coming, and I know it was, she's black, or maybe the N-word. But I believe that they are racist. And there were 4 officers, and I have noticed that sometimes I have even, this is with Caucasian people. I'm just gonna say it. With Caucasian people, a lot of times, even when I'm doing Uber, if they're standing in the way, because sometimes when I pick up people, I don't like blocking roads. I don't like picking up people on main roads. I like picking up people on side roads. And if there's a driveway, I will pull up, because sometimes in Temecula, there's these big houses, and they're Airbnbs, and there's a driveway, right? And then there's a gate, and then there's a call box. So there's like a piece of the driveway you can park there to do the call box. So there's a gate right in front of you. So if I get to a house like that, I like to pull up at the gate and then pick the people up. I'm not blocking the road. I'm out of the road. If a car comes zooming by, I won't get hit. The riders won't get hit. So that's how I like to pick up people as safe as I possibly can, because these people drive crazy. The things that I see, these people drive so crazy. And just like, as you can see, the bike rider going at a high rate of speed, turning on a road and not even looking. He's looking behind him the whole time. So I'm aware of the things that happen on the road. So I always try my best to pick people up as safe as I can. But the riders, when they're in Temecula, they're on vacation. Okay? They're here to have a good time. And I noticed that when people are somewhere to have a good time, they don't think that nothing bad is going to happen to them. They don't think that they're going to get in an accident. They don't think that they're going to get hit by a car, because their mind is good time. I'm here on vacation. Good time. So they have no sense of safety. So they be wanting me to pick them up in the most unsafest places, spots, unsafe. And so my mind is always thinking of safe places I can pick a person up. And Because if I pick up where the writers, a lot of times I don't pick up where the writers want me to pick up at. If I pick up where the writers want me to pick up, believe me, I probably would have been hit already. The writers probably would have been ran over. And then when the police come, who you think they're going to question? Like, well, why did you pick them up right here? Why didn't you pull over here? Why didn't you get on the sides? Why the questions are going to come to me. I'm going to be held responsible. So I have noticed that when I'm trying to pull over at these spots right in front of the gate, there could be a person standing there. They would not move. They would not move. Or they take their time and move. It's like, yeah, I'm not moving for you. I know you're here to pick us up, but yeah, I'm gonna take my time and move. I don't understand that. So that's what happened when I was pulling up into the private property of this place to talk to the police. It was 4 of them. One, there was a driveway. I didn't want to block the driveway. The driveway was open. I didn't want to block the driveway. So I was pulling up on the side. The police was standing where I wanted to park my van. And so I'm pulling up at him. And I know I recorded him. But he's like standing there like he didn't want to move. He didn't want to move. Like, you stop wherever you stop, you know. And so he slowly moved, creeped out of the way, very slowly. He didn't want to move. And I'm like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Because I see a lot of Caucasian people get run over by cars. I do. I see a lot of them get hit. I have picked up a man, a Caucasian man on a bike that rides a bike. He had been hit 4 or 5 times. Usually when I see people pedestrians that get hit, they're usually Caucasian. I think they have been taught that they have the right of way, and pedestrians have the right of way, and that's just it. I was taught, most black people were taught, yeah, we have the right of way, but when you see that car coming, you move out the way. You look both ways before you cross that street, because we know that we can still get hit. Pedestrian can still get hit even if you have the right of way. So I was taught different. I was taught to look both ways before I cross the street. I was not taught you have the right of way, so you know you can go on. You don't have to look or whatever. You have the right of way. I was not taught that. No. I don't even think that word ever came out of my mother's mouth. You look both ways before you cross that street. You make sure ain't no cars coming. You get eye contact with that car. You know, that's how I was taught. So yeah, I have noticed that a lot of pedestrians that get hit are Caucasian. So anyway, they were nasty. I wouldn't say they were nasty with their words. They were nasty with their looks. They were nasty with their energy. They treated me like I was a criminal, even though I was the one that called them. And that's what happened the first time I called Anaheim Police Department years ago when I lived in Anaheim. I called them, same thing. They treated me like somebody had called on me. That's how they treated me. It was a noise complaint in the apartment that I lived in. I had problems with the upstairs neighbors making a lot of noise late at night. So the 2 officers that came were Hispanic. The people that lived above me were Hispanic. So they played, to me it appeared they played good cop, bad cop. And so I know that they did not give the woman that I called on upstairs the hard time that they gave me. I know they didn't. So I wanted to complain then, but I didn't. But this time, I complained. I called the sergeant of Anaheim, of those 2 men, and I complained of the 2 that was dealing with me. But I complained on them. I just said, you need to talk to your whole police department. I said, this is the second time I had to call you guys, and y'all just come like, you act like I'm the criminal. You act like you don't want to be bothered. Like, why did you call? I said, you're no help at all. I said, when something happens and you call the police department, um, when you come with that attitude, you just makes it worse. I said, they would not want a police to do their mother like that, their sister, their daughter. They would not want a police to do their family, the women like in their family like that. And so he was talking really nice, you know, to sergeant and everything, but it was a lot of defending. You know how they are. They go to defend their own. And so it was a lot of that, but he was also saying that he was going to talk to them. But I was like, okay, you know, when I got off the phone with them, I still did a review. And you know, you cannot do a Google review with these police departments anymore. So I did a review on Yelp. You have to find other ways to review police departments, because I think the reviews are so bad on Google that you can't leave a review on Google anymore. Yeah. So yeah, I find other ways to leave a review when it comes to police departments. Anaheim PD is the worst. In my opinion, worse than Marietta PD, even though Marietta PD surveillance me for years trying to find ways to lock me up. Yeah, I feel like if I had did this, I had gave Anaheim PD the same energy I gave Marietta PD, I think the outcome probably would have been worse or different. But you know, I would have fought because I got a higher power on my side than the power they got on their side. The power they got on their side is Satan. That's the power they got. Because I found out that most police officers are in the Mason. So I know who their father is. I know who my father is. Okay, and my father created their father. So anyway, they didn't fill out a police report because they said nobody was injured. I said, well, I think he was injured, but he didn't stay. So they said they wouldn't fill out a police report. So I got an incident report. So, you know, I did the whole process of Uber and my insurance. And so Uber, it's not enough damage for Uber to pay for it. I'm not paying for it. I might get maybe something like, or maybe see someone to get it. But it's not that big of a deal to me. You know, the van is 3 years old. I have had it for 2 years because it's a 22. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I am very blessed that that's all that was done to it, was that scratch, you know, and that was it. My windshield didn't break. I don't have a big dent in my hood. So I am blessed that that's all the damage that was, you know, was done. So yeah, plan on going back to Orange County next week because I gotta work. I gotta pay bills and I gotta buy things for my apartment. I don't have no TV. So I put me a TV, a 32-inch and a 42-inch in my Walmart cart. And I got some other things in my cart, and I got things written down that I want to buy. But my apartment is coming along. I'm getting things placed where they're supposed to be. I feel like I don't have enough cabinet space. I have a lot of kitchen cabinet space, but I feel like I don't have enough cabinet space for like in the rest of the apartment. So hopefully I can show it to you guys soon. I have been gifted things I'm very happy about. And my auntie is sending me some money so I can buy some things. And I don't know how much she's going to send me. She didn't say. But she's going to send me some money. So then I can go shopping and buy some more things for my apartment. But yeah, I think that's it. I know I'm probably going to think about some more things when I finish this video. But I just have to make another video one day. But yep, everything's been going good. I've been happy. I feel like I haven't had the chance to just stay at home and just relax. When I'm at home, I'm doing something. You know, I'm trying to put things where I can find things. Any kind of space I can find it, I'm putting things. I got things under my bed, shoes under my bed. I put a big shelf in my room. I put a shelf in the hallway because I got a nice size hallway. So I put a shelf in there to put stuff on. So yeah, I'm just trying to find place for everything. And so once I do that and get everything together, I don't know, I'll be able to show you guys my new apartment. Oh, it's time up almost. So I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month at the most. But once I get it all straightened up, then I can show it to you. But I got all my bathroom stuff. I got my rugs, my new shower curtains, new trash can. I got to give me a couple of towels to match. And yeah, that'll be, I got to get some pictures for the wall, but I think I'm going to show it to you guys before I get the pictures. That's going to be like the last thing. But yeah, so once I really completely finish it, then I'll probably show it to you again. But yeah, so that's about it, and I will talk to you guys. And oh, I forgot to say, the last time I checked my weight, which was week before last, I had lost 19 pounds, a total of 19 pounds. So I know I have lost more, but I got to give me a scale and check. All right, goodbye.